Ancient past ties, marked by memories of a past life, buried in a hard drive. Therapy you can't find, tendency to start fights. Everything's part-time, recipe for a martyr strike. The inner things you can't define.
Greetings and welcome to Ancient Library. This is Tome number 11, a quick synopsis about the Cropcircle phenomena. This will be a summary of all the information I could gather in a compact form. At first glance, if you look at this phenomenon, if you look at those crop circles, they look astonishing, and there are like basically two camps. The one are like the non-believers who think this is all like esoteric wacko stuff, and they think it's nonsense, and the other camp is like people basically like me, people who are curious, people who think maybe there are some messages or there's some potential in these things, and are basically curious about the origin of these things. And if you see some complex, bigger crop circles, I'm going to show one on the screen. This is a rather famous one. Got 409 solo circles, or is constructed on 409 solo circles, and it's like a flawless, perfect crop circle. And there are even ones where you can see some 3D elements where it's like created for like to create a 3D angle, a 3D view. And I don't know how people would do this in the night without proper equipment and proper noise, or I don't know. Like don't want to underestimate my own like human species. We can do awesome things, but I don't know. We're gonna go into these questions later in the video. We will talk about such the crucial questions and important things such as the origin, the hotspots, the potential meaning of these things, why and who would make them, the history, and the physical anomalies surrounding the affected plants or corn or crop, how you want to call it. And in the end, I'm going to give my core synopsis, a quick summary about all of the information we will run through in this video, and I will link some stuff as well. Okay, so let's start with the history. The history of the phenomena, from what I've gathered, it's a consistent thing since the 1980s, so more than 40 years. And very little research has been done in the mainstream area. I mean, we got some stuff on YouTube, we got some books, but most of the books and stuff is all coming from these esoteric circles. And it's a lot of stigma is on this thing, on this phenomena. So people think it's wacko stuff, but I think it's not that easy, to be honest. To add some more information, in some more recent literature, I found that it's like more than 6,000 circles in total appeared or are reported around the world, and it's like 150 to 300 a year, and the first circles were reported in the year 1590, so it's like almost 500 years ago, so it's pretty sick, I guess. And nobody has really been caught. I mean, there's some people claiming they done this. Later I'm going to talk about a Reddit case where I met a guy on Reddit who was responding to every single thread. And I was saying, I done this in one night shift with my 3 friends. Yeah, we done all of them crop circles. There's only one type of crop circle, and that's the ones I done with my friends. So, I don't know, pretty weird. But I responded, I said to him, I'm thinking about paying you for you to do this on the live stream, and we can record this, so it's easy cash. But he never responded. Of course, I would not pay money for the guy, but I want to see his response, because there was pretty no substance in it. But I'm going off on a tangent here. Back to the history of the phenomena. I mean, the hotspots, it's like mostly famous in South England, or in England as well. South England, around the area of Stonehenge, many people know. It's the area around Avebury and Silbury Hill, and there's like thousands of crop circles appeared in that area, and there are even like crop circles appearing next to Stonehenge, like pretty nearby, pretty close by. I mean, besides South England, there appeared crop circles all around the globe. Some are in Europe, in Italy, Germany, and in other countries around, but there's like a few reports on them. Pardon. And I'm going to show you a German crop circle here. This is from Germany, from South Germany, Bavaria. And it's reported on July 18, 2014 in Bavaria. And it's next to a telescope. And I think the location where these things appear is like part of the message. I think that's the thing. Like there are many crop circles appearing next to telescopes, and I think that's not random or something. But yeah, more on that later. We will also talk about the potential of these things being messages which can be deciphered by us. And now I'm going to show you some crop circles. We're going to run through some examples. This is the so-called crown crop circle. There's not really much to say about this one. You see it's very complex and very flawless designed, and there's some geometry inside. And if you see this thing, you can really imagine there's like a couple of guys doing this with simple tools in one night. The next one, this is the so-called Mandelbrot set. This is actually not random. This crop circle resembles the Mandelbrot set, or the so-called Apple Man, because it looks like some apple geometry here, but that's not really important. The important thing is it comes from the world of fractals, and if you do computer simulations where you can show these fractals, if you zoom in on these tier lines, you will see there's like always the same pattern emerges, and there are like more similar patterns to this, but the Mandelbrot set is like the most valuable one, and that's a very interesting crop circle. The next one, this is very obvious. It's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye on top, and it got 33 spikes around, and it's of course connected to the lodge topic, to the lodge subject, and to the grades in some famous lodges these days. The next one, this is I forgot about the pyramid. If you look at the eye, you can see at the eye there's like even the shadow. It's like very complex design on the eye, very subtle, and you see the eye is shaped like Switzerland. If I'm not tripping, it looks like Switzerland, and the all-seeing eye resembling like knowledge and wisdom, and so maybe it means the wisdom lays in Switzerland. But yeah, it depends if you take these things serious. I mean, maybe it's connected to the Billy Meyer case and the wisdom lays in Switzerland, but it's not really serious. The next thing, this is a very famous crop circle. This is like a gray alien holding a disk, a data disk, which resembles a ASCII code. Like we burn CDs, basically. We press data on CDs, and it's like basically the same phenomena, the same type how you do this. And I'm going to show you some more. There's a newer one of this. These are, by the way, messages, and these messages have been decoded. If you're interested in them, you can, at least in the first one, I done this in the Lost Files episode 1. But I'm going to mention this later. There's like a whole lot I've done on my channel on the crop circle thing recently, and you can watch this. It's like a whole series. It's like 4 episodes in total. 2 episodes and 4 videos in total, but I'm going to lose some words over that later. And now we move to the next section, and it's like the anomalies, physical anomalies, what actually happens to the plant material, to the corn. And from what I've gathered, the general narrative in this field is that the corn is turned over or walled, like in a vortex spiral way, spiral pattern. Under the microscope, traces of the corn being burned are visible, leading to the conclusion that the plant material got heated in some way, in some fashion. People speculate it's maybe done by a kind of energy or particle beam, or some technology we can't understand yet, we don't understand yet. Some crop circle samples showed the crop being burned inside, but the outside, the shell, was intact. So if this is all true, this has to be an energy phenomena. So if you see these orbs flying around, maybe they do something we can't really see, but it's like all on a speculative basis. And there's also the intracellular spaces filled with air are expanded, which is also an indicator for the corn being heated in some fashion, in some way. Also, you can see these like intersections, like looking like melting points, and this is like also an indicator for heat. And if this is all true, it's actually more or less evidence that these crop circles are not done by humans in a mechanical, physical fashion. Like I mentioned, it's always set up in a vortex spiral type shape, and it's even so subtle things on the crop circles that they create like subtle shades. And you can see this on some very complex crop circles, if you know what I mean. Like basically in the eye on the pyramid, they do they do something with the corn that it's like reflecting the light in a different way or something, because it looks very complex. And that's for the anomalies. I just want to mention this is just a quick compact synopsis, so I'm going to skip some things, but I'm put the important things inside, I guess. And yeah, if you want to watch more, I'm going to source some stuff later. And we move to the next section, and that's like the crucial questions, or the frequently asked questions surrounding the topic. And I got 4 questions here. How is it done? Who does it? What's the motive? And why South England? And we start with the question, who does it? So I got 3 options here. A, it's normal humans. B, it's ETs or higher intelligence controlling these orbs and doing these things. Or C, it's like deep dark projects, also Earth humans, but they got access to technology the normal humans don't know about, and yeah, doing some shenanigans, I would say. And yeah, that's like the first question. There's some 3 options for me. And how is it done? I mean, if this like done by normal humans, they like do it in a physical, mechanical way with simple tools. I already talked about that. If it's if it's done by the ETs, I mean, we talk about the energy phenomena, but we don't really know if it's done by an advanced species, got technology we don't really have access to. And if it's done by the deep dark projects, it's basically the same thing. I mean, if they got technology, which is like done by contractors in some deep dark compartmentalized projects, maybe they do something like this, similar to abductions or cattle mutilations. Some people think that's all like a new age counterintelligence op, all a psyop. I'm not saying this, but I just want to keep it a little open-minded here with the options. And what's the motive? Of course, for the normal humans, the motive is, I can emphasize with them, I don't know, why should they do this? Maybe it's fun, maybe it's passion, maybe it's hype. But keep in mind, even if you do the modest, most beautiful crop circle, you can't claim it at the end of the day. You do this for hours and then you wake up and it's basically gone. I don't know. We're going to talk on this later, but that's the motive. Maybe it's personal stuff. I mean, the motive, if it's done by ETs or these orbs, higher intelligence, I guess it's to elevate humankind. And the thing is, it's no direct, they're not intervening directly. It's just a thing in the field and we can get something from it, or it's gone on some time. So I think it's positive, like showing us sacred geometry, showing us maybe stuff where we can build machines or something. Some people on the planet doing this. They're looking for some crop circles and trying to derive blueprints for sacred geometry based free energy devices, for example. And I mean, what's the motive if it's done by deep dark CIA type, or more even deeper than CIA type projects? Like I said, it's basically a psyop, distraction, and do experiments with the experimental tech. Okay, so we go to the last question here, and it's why South England? I mean, even if you take the reported crop circle formations in Germany, Italy, and the USA into account, it's very clear that the very most of them seem to appear in South England. And you might heard it before, but it's been speculated that there's an energy point grid around the whole planet. And South England, near Avebury and Silbury Hill and Stonehenge and all these places of worship, there is such a point. And maybe this would explain why they dropped it there. And maybe, there's like all over this place, there are the so-called domes. That's like big stones, like similar to the things in Stonehenge. And they used in ancient times and in old times to meditate. If you sit on the stone, you can meditate better. It's like it enhances the process. It's supposed to enhance the process. And I mean, that would make some sense if you think it's connected to an energy grid. So, that's all about that. Now we move to the next section, and it's the available data on the quality of the literature. And I have to say, I'm reading books, but not on this topic, because I looked over some books and most of them coming from esoteric circles, and I got some recommendations I looked in, but they wasn't so compelling, to be honest. And most of them are just like calendars or like pictures or like slightly descriptions of the thing, not really deep stuff. And of course, you can go on YouTube. I think that's the best way here, but you need to find a credible source. I mean, I didn't watch videos from the History Channel on this topic. I don't know. It doesn't feel right for me. And for me, the main literature is if you watched my Lost Files playlist, it's built around a guy called he's called Wolfgang Wiedergut, and it's an Austrian scientist who was very knowledgeable in the whole physics biology section and studied these things, and also went to India and studied the Indian Vedism or Veds, or how you kind of pronounce it in English, but you know what I mean. And he was studying the crop circles. He died like roughly 20 years ago, pretty early age, in a pretty young age. And I watched like over 70 hours of his seminars. They are in German, and there's much stuff, not only about crop circles, but I'm going off on a tangent again here. The crop circle topic, he got much data on this, and he explains it very well. He is able to explain these crop circles derived from his knowledge about history and symbolism and all these different cultures, and connect them, and can basically read these crop circles very well. He's also a maths and physics guy, so he can understand all the sacred geometry, golden ratio stuff, and he can see things in them. So I recommend to watch the series if you want to dive deeper on the program, on the whole phenomena. It's like 4 videos. Stuff is in the description. And I think now we move on to the next part, which is the core part of the video, like the main core synopsis. And I want to start with the high stigma which is surrounded by these things. I think it's because these things are around for a while, and some people just think, they're basically done because of some TV shows and some other people who done very simple crop circles, that this phenomena isn't an interesting thing, and they doesn't need to be curious about this. So I'm going to show you another crop circle. This is called the Blue Shield, and it's like a very great complex crop circle. And it got these 11 needles on the side times 6, so 66 needles. And I can tell you something about the lore I discovered. And this blue shield is in some cultures and some historical events. There's like the Excalibur sword. There's like a main character who got the Excalibur sword and the blue shield in the other hand, and fighting like fire demons and stuff like this. And it's also connected to the anesthesia stuff from Russia, the ringing satyrs or cedars. And it's also got a connection from this to this stuff. And I'm really asking you, are normal humans really able to do this? I mean, it's not the best picture, but you can see it's a very complex, fine structure and pattern. But I want to show you some other stuff. This one is the so-called pizza crop circle, who's done by a German celebrity who is hosting a TV show, like a science or pseudoscience type show. And he was demonstrating he can do the crop circle, and he done this crop circle. This is the best picture I could find, unfortunately. And you can see the difference. It's nowhere near flawless. It looks like, I think they done it first and then they named it after. At least it looks like this. And I just want to show you this is like some 100% man-made, done by normal humans crop circle. And if you see these things, and they done it with some construction vehicles and lots of people on budget. And this is like the result. I mean, come on. But I don't want to underestimate my own great human race. We can do some great things, but I'm not sure here. The next crop circle, you saw this again. This is like the gray alien with the RSCII code. And you can see here, this like very complex crop circle as well. If you look at the code, you need to do this perfectly. If you do one fail, one mistake, it's all done basically. And it's another example to show they might not create it. It's also appeared near a telescope, I think. So it's like maybe there are people around and security around, and nobody never saw a soul doing this. So at this point, I want to reiterate the 3 options from the crucial section, the crucial question section, the frequently asked questions section. I don't want to use percent, but if I have to, my personal opinion would be 5% as a possibility, or like who is the creator of these things. 5% it's normal humans with a wooden board or something. 15% it's like deep dark projects, like a counterintelligence thing. It's still low, but more than normal humans. And the last thing is 80% ET or other higher intelligence. And I think it's most likely not normal humans because of several reasons and of the work-time ratio. I mean, look at some bigger complex crop circles. They need to take dozens of peoples and work all night, and then they sleep, and then they wake up, and it's gone basically. And yeah, I mean, they need to do it at night. And I work night shift for a big part of my life, and I mean, you have a fraction of people interested in the crop circle phenomena. A fraction of them are willing to do the crop circle thing, and a fraction of them who are willing to do it at night. So yeah, I mean, if you use empathy, it's even more different. I mean, I don't want to say I know what every man thinks and every person thinks. Everyone is different. Everybody got his own life and own mind and own reasons to do things. But I mean, they can't claim it. They can't make money. I mean, they have to travel. They do it all perfect, flawlessly, and it's so silent. Come on, I don't really know. Yeah. So I also want to mention there was a guy on Reddit. Like I said, he was replying to every thread and was saying he'd done this with his guys and stuff. And all these people, they're here and there, they appear, and then they go away for some time, but the way they're doing, the way they're acting, it's, I don't know, it's like they're like one-hit wonders. They come for one rage trip and then they leave forever. So I don't know. What I want to say with this is I don't really find a guy who can prove that he done these things. I only found some like this wooden board picture and some old people who are claiming to build tools for crop circles, but the things that they create look entirely different. I don't think it's done by exotic tech necessarily either, like CIA deep dark projects or something, because sacred geometry and possible messages which can derive potential blueprints or for free energy devices or something like this is not the right symbolism for a power structure which want to secure their control. But maybe it's like a new age psyop agenda, like cattle mutilations and abductions, but it's all speculation. I genuinely think the most possible creator is a fundamentally higher level of intelligence or higher intelligence of a level of evolution. I mean, the video shown in the intro is clearly debatable, but I believe it would make the most sense. And it's a very subtle way of one-way communication, and it's super safe for the sender or the creator of these things, of these crop circles. Of course, we can speculate about what kind of higher intelligence or ETs it can be. Some people say the corn or crop is connected to the Pleiadians, Pleiades, the seven sister star cluster. And therefore, because they appear in the cornfields, it would make some sense for them. But I will leave it at that. If you are more interested into the topic, I one last time can recommend the Lost Files series. It's like 4 videos. It's like 80-90 minutes in total, and it's a little bit more dry because it's basically a translation, but you can get some more info about the topic from this. So yeah, this was my synopsis. Thanks for watching and see you next time. LIBRA.